Romano here from Crypto Nation, and welcome to another one of my cryptocurrency videos. I am back from holiday in South Africa. As a lot of you know, I've been away for about 3 weeks, just visiting some friends and family, and catching some sun down in South Africa. But I am back now, and I'm back to making my cryptocurrency videos. Obviously, a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks that we need to catch up on. So I'll probably make a few videos and publish them through the course of this weekend, just to catch up on all those sort of things. Just before we go on, just wanted to make a disclaimer that this is not professional financial advice. I am not a professional financial advisor. I'm simply a guy that is documenting the stuff I do with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and just I am very passionate about it. But yeah, as I always say, do not invest more than you are willing to lose. So yeah, now that that is out of the way, I actually wanted to start off with talking a little bit about South Africa and some of the stuff that I saw in the cryptocurrency space when I was out there. So I found it really interesting because I live in the United Kingdom these days, and a lot of the sort of mentality that still exists in the UK around cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and the sort of the adoption of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in the sort of general population is what I found was quite different to what I saw in South Africa. So I mean, I work in the IT field and in the technology space, and even when I talk to a lot of my colleagues who are, kind of tech savvy and all that sort of stuff, not many of them know a lot about Bitcoin. Everyone's obviously heard about it, or heard about it on the news, but there's always the talk about Bitcoin. Oh, it's nerd money, it's a scam, da da da. People don't really understand what Bitcoin is, and when you sort of see Bitcoin being mentioned on the news, it's always along the line of the whole JP Morgan has warned about Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin used for money laundering and da 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 and all that sort of stuff. So the mentality which I found here is a lot different to what I saw in South Africa. So when I was in South Africa, I found it really interesting that they've got a completely different take and a completely different sort of mindset toward cryptocurrency and Bitcoin than any other place I've certainly been in. And to give an example of that, I was watching TV one day. So on national television, they had a competition. Some company or other was running a competition, and you could win, or the prize was 50,000 rand paid out in Bitcoin. So I think 50,000 rand is something like about $3,000, give or take, in that sort of region. Probably a bit more, maybe like $3,500, and but they would pay this out in Bitcoin, which I thought was really, really interesting, because this is mainstream media, it's national television, it's a big competition, and they weren't paying out in like fiat currency. It was being paid out in Bitcoin, which means if you wanted to enter the competition, you had to have a Bitcoin account or a Bitcoin address, and you kind of had to know how it worked and all that sort of stuff, which I thought was really, really interesting. And a lot of the conversations I had there with people, friends of family and friends of friends and just sort of random people I spoke with, a lot of people had not just heard about Bitcoin, but have been participating in, that sort of cryptocurrency scene and that space, and have been investing in it or mining it. Or I spoke to this one guy who loaned some money to his kid, and his kid was buying Bitcoin, investing in cryptocurrency, and he was investing in cryptocurrency, and people were talking about it in bars and restaurants and everywhere I went, and their mentality towards it was completely different. They literally saw it as a a currency of I wouldn't say a new currency, but it's a digital currency, it's a store of value. So the mentality was much different, and I found that very, very refreshing. And I know that a lot of countries in the world, especially I don't really like the word to say the word, but sort of third world countries, or countries that are not as advanced, or whose currencies are maybe under pressure a lot, places like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, other places, have taken to Bitcoin a lot more than their own currencies because of the massive devaluation of their own currency. They tend to put their money into something like Bitcoin as a store of value because it's increasing rapidly, as we've seen recently, but also it safeguards them against the massive decrease or devaluation of their currencies. Not as much South Africa. I think the rand is quite a stable currency, except for when the stupid president opens his bloody mouth every time. But it's quite a stable currency. But I even thought that the mentality there was really sort of interesting on it. But anyway, that was just kind of a little bit of an interesting update that that I had from sort of being on holiday around the sort of cryptocurrency space and what people were doing there. But what I wanted to do now is just dive a little bit into what's going on in the markets and what's been happening in the last 2 weeks and kind of where we are at the moment. So without further ado, let's just take a look at what's happening on CoinMarketCap at the moment. So CoinMarketCap, market capitalization $199,352,000,000. So we are very, very, very close to that $200 billion market cap. I think we will even see that 200 billion market cap, dare I say it, before the end of the day. Who knows? I looked at it a bit earlier on today and it was 198 billion. So we've gone up that extra 1 billion just in a few hours. So what's to say we won't hit that 200 billion mark in the next couple of hours. BTC dominance at the moment 61.6%. That is huge. That is massive. And as we know from Bitcoin, in the last couple of weeks, it has had an astronomical march upwards towards the current price, which is $7,301.34. Beg your pardon. And one of the big reasons for this has been the upcoming SegWit 2x fork for Bitcoin, which is happening on the 15th of November, and that has pushed the price up massively. But what it's also done is it's pushed down or it's put a lot of the altcoins under pressure, because what people are doing is they are selling a lot of their altcoins, moving their money into the Bitcoin, because of the anticipation of what will happen in this fork. So in the same way, with Bitcoin Cash and the fork and everything that happened there, similar kind of thing is happening at the moment with the sort of SegWit 2x fork. And I probably see this trend continuing at least until the 15th of November, until that fork actually happens, because of what people are doing in terms of moving their money out of altcoin and into Bitcoin. One of the other reasons as well is I read somewhere, I think it was yesterday or the day before, is the amount of Bitcoin addresses being or Bitcoin wallets being opened every day. It's something like 30,000 Bitcoin wallets being opened every day or being loaded every day, which really speaks volumes about the popularity and the uptake of Bitcoin or of cryptocurrency, and I think finally starting to make inroads into the mainstream, and people seeing the value of cryptocurrency and the use thereof. Just as I spoke a few moments ago about what's happening in South Africa and their whole mentality towards Bitcoin, that I think that is happening a lot more and more just across the board. I actually weirdly think that sometimes first world countries such as ourselves here in the UK have a lot of catching up to do in that space, but that is inevitable. I do think that will happen. But yeah, so that just kind of talks to why Bitcoin is dominating the market at sort of 61.6%, and why a lot of the altcoins are sort of feeling the pressure. Now, I hold quite a few bags of sort of different altcoins. I've got some Litecoin, I've got some EOS, I've got Civic, I've got Buzzcoin, I've got Bethro. I've got about 20 different altcoins that I currently hold, and the price is down on quite a lot of them, but I'm not one of those people that hunts the sort of candle charts or kind of sits there every day looking at the candles going up and down and either sell or or buy, depending on just what's happening on a sort of day-to-day basis. As you guys will know from looking at a lot of my videos, I always look at the fundamentals of the coins. There's a lot of the coins in the top 100 which I really, something like Chainlink, which I still think is massively undervalued, where the fundamentals of the coin and of the technology underpinning the coin just means that it, or at least in my mind, is always a good investment. Something like EOS, which at the moment I think at $1.23 is still, or it's actually gone down a bit at $1.18, is still a very, very good investment because of the technology that sits behind it. But I do think that it is a long-term hold. So if you're going to buy EOS, you need to be able to prepare to hold it for quite a while. I think it's interesting what's going to happen with EOS over the next year or so. But you know, I always say do your own research, make your own assessment, go and have a look at EOS's website, and read, you know, kind of read the stuff that's going on here, look at the documentation, read the white paper. There's a whole bunch of sort of videos and stuff here which you can sort of look at to get a lot more information about what is happening with EOS. And also, you know, I'd say join their Facebook page and sort of keep up to date on what's going on there. But EOS is one of those things where, you know, I think long term, what the technology, what they're doing with the coin and what the technology is doing has real world applications. There's some real fundamentals in that coin. The same thing as I've said before with Chainlink, which, where is it? Somewhere down here. I think Chainlink is one of those things which is going to be massively interesting at the moment. As you can see, the coin is kind of down at about sort of 18 cents at the moment. I'd say now is probably a very good time to buy. But again, do your own research, make your own assessment, have a look at what the coin does. I really, really like what the technology is that is underpinning this token, because it's all about connecting off-chain sort of stuff, off-chain technologies with the blockchain. So if you had a smart contract that needs to connect to IoT devices or payment gateways and all this sort of stuff, Chainlink is the technology that will bind all that stuff together. And I think the technology is what makes this really interesting. So yeah, have a look at this one. But again, I still think you've got to buy it and kind of leave it there. So and you know, if you leaving your money in one place for like 6 months or a year is potentially opportunity lost, because you could take that money and invest into coins where you'll get a rise in the value, and extract that money and get your return on investment much quicker. Something like BitConnect coin or BitConnect tokens is something that I absolutely love. You can go and have a look back at some of my other videos that I've made about BitConnect, not just the platform but the coin. But BitConnect coin is one of those things which, I mean, if you have a look at the chart here, has just you know, gone up and up and up and up and up. And again, it's because of the fundamentals that underpins the whole BitConnect coin and the BitConnect platform out there. And when I know for the first time when I bought BitConnect coin, I think I bought it like $97 or $98 a coin, and it's now at $278 a coin. So that's like 3x return in. And I think I bought in August. So it's about 3 months later. I've made 3 times my money. That gives you the idea of, you know, by not tying your money up in something like EOS or whatever, or if you have money that you need to kind of invest and make money back with, it gives you an idea of what you can do with money in a short space of time if you invest wisely, if you do your research and invest wisely. It gives you a good idea of what you can do with that. I've also invested in the BitConnect platform, which has done really, really well for me. I think my first investment was about $230 on August the 22nd. It's now at like $420 currently. So I've seen a really good return. Again, in like 3 months, I've almost doubled my money, which is really phenomenal. And that is just by reinvesting and compounding and making sure that I get higher and higher interest payments every day. And BitConnect is a really interesting platform. If you don't know about it, have a look at my other videos. I will also leave a link down in the description to go to their website where you can also register an account for you. But it's effectively an investment platform, an automated trading platform where you can invest money in. But it's been around for longer than a year. I think they're going into their second year now. They've proven themselves to be really solid. The platform has weathered a couple of storms. It's come out the other side. People's deposits have always been safe. And there's a lot of people out on YouTube and on the internet, that's saying, oh, it's a scam, it's this, it's that. I actually would challenge anyone to go and find anyone who's invested into BitConnect and who has not made any money out of it, who has lost money out of it, in the entirety that BitConnect has been online and trading, which is, as I said, longer than a year. It's almost for 2 years now that they've been going. So for anyone who thinks it's a scam or anything like that, I would challenge you to go and find one person who's invested money in BitConnect and lost money, or has not been able to withdraw their money from BitConnect at the end of their investment period. So that's all I can really say about BitConnect. If you want to know more about it, click on the link in the description, or have a look at some of my other videos, and you'll see a lot more about BitConnect. I will, following up from this video, just make another video on my BitConnect investment. Won't be a big one, just to kind of go through where I am at the moment, show you a bit of my the sort of interest payments that I've received over the last couple of months, and just how I've compounded them, and how I'm now, in about 3 months time, earning like $10 a day, and probably in about a month's time from now we'll be earning 20 and then 30 and so forth. And that is just straightforward passive income, not doing anything for it, and that is off an initial investment of like $230. So yeah, it just gives you an idea of what you can do on platforms like that. So yeah, I mean, that I'm not really going to bang on too much today about what's going on in the altcoin market. As I said, altcoins have been under pressure because of what's happening in the Bitcoin space with the SegWit 2x sort of fork going on. We'll see what happens. As I said, after the 15th of October, I think a lot of people will take their money back out of Bitcoin after the fork and push it back into some of those altcoins where they have been seeing a lot of returns, where they have been investing their money into at the moment. After this video, I will make another one just to kind of touch again on some of my staking coins. So some of you who've been following my videos will know that I've been staking some B3 and some Buzzcoin, and their prices have dropped massively over the last sort of month, really, because of, as I said, the stuff that's been going on in the altcoin market. But I think there's some really interesting work going on on those sort of two coins. Really strong developer sort of interest in the coins. The developers always on the Discord, involved with the community. They're really always sort of there, and there's some sort of strong fundamentals around those coins at the moment. And I've, even though the price has gone down over the last couple of months, or the last month or so, because of I've just left it there and I've been staking, I've actually not lost any money. Where, as I said previously, if you chase the candlesticks every day, and you just look at the up and down trends, and if you buy high and sell low, then you are obviously going to lose money, but that at the end of the day is on you. And that's just not how proof of stake coins work. It's a bit more long term, but I think now is a really, really good time to start looking at some of those proof of stake coins. As I always say, do your own research, but they are really cheap at the moment because of the pressure that the altcoin market has been under. And I think it's a really good time to actually get involved in some of those staking coins, and buy some of that, and just stake over the next sort of couple of months, and sell some of those coins off, get your return on investment, and maybe invest in some other coins. But I think now's a really good time to get involved in that. But have a look at that for that on my next video, or one of my next videos will be specifically on staking coins, or the staking coins that I have. But yeah, folks, I'm gonna wrap up for today. That was just my getting back from holiday update video, looking at cryptocurrency and everything going on in the last couple of weeks. I will be doing a few more videos this weekend, and then I'll probably do a couple of videos throughout the course of the week or next weekend when I do have some time. Obviously, I've got the boring day job that does keep me busy sometimes, but as I said, just keep a lookout for my videos, and I'll try and post them as frequently as possible. Until next time, as always, if you like this video, please click the like button down in the description, and also share the video with others you think might find this interesting. Thanks very much, and do remember to subscribe to my channel.